please take this moment to ensure your mobile device is on silent mode. Thank you for your cooperation. Please make your way to your seats. Our program will begin in 5 minutes. Please be seated. Our program will begin in 1 minute. General Session 3, June 20th, 2025. Call to order.
Good afternoon. I'm Charles Dumont, UUA co-moderator with the Reverend Meg Riley. I'm a member of the Unitarian Universalists of San Mateo, California, on the land of the Ramaytush Ohlone people. And I am also a member of the Church of the Larger Fellowship. I always do that for the cheer. My pronouns are he and him. I'm in my mid-60s with a gray beard and gray hair. I'm wearing a purple pinstripe shirt today, which the manufacturer calls periwinkle. And I'm wearing bright red reading glasses. I now call to order the third general session of the 64th General Assembly of the Unitarian Universalist Association. At every GA, Meg and I have told you that we would make mistakes, and we would apologize and try to learn from them. And that's where we are today. Before we review the agenda, we want to apologize for several mistakes that occurred during yesterday's discussion of the CSAIs. We understand people were given the wrong time of day for those discussions. Communication around the length of presentations was wrong and was not consistently communicated among all of us involved in the process. One of our facilitators did not follow directions and allowed an extra speaker for one of the CSAIs. Our rules of procedure state that each sponsor of CSAI will have 2 minutes to speak in support of their CSAI, and the moderator will try to divide time between pro and con speakers equally, and will alternate between speakers in the pro and con lines. It has been several years since the last CSAI started, and we haven't had a full commission until recently, and we were excited to have them engaged in this process. Based on our experience yesterday, we want a better process. A lot of time and effort by the Commission on Social Witness and all the authors and developers of the CSIs get reduced into a small part of a general session. The Bylaw renewal team understands the need for a better process, and you will hear more about their work later today. Since yesterday's session, your board of directors, along with UUA staff and our legal counsel and parliamentarian, have been researching a way to repair some of the harm. You will hear more about this shortly, and for all of you who love your parliamentary procedure, this will be your moment. Today's business agenda includes, in the following order: opening words and chalice lighting, update on the results of yesterday's ballot, update from the GA care teams, a reflection, volunteer leadership recruitment, introducing the virtual hymnal, celebration of 25 years of Our Whole Lives, celebrating the 75th year of LREDA, Liberal Religious Educators Association. We'll have some music. You'll have a report from us, the co-moderators. And then apparently there's going to be some appreciation for the co-moderators. And then we'll take a break. Then we'll have a report from the president and the executive officers. We'll have that update from the Bylaws renewal team. We'll have a discussion of the business resolution. We'll have a report from the climate justice team. Then we're going to do a special extra parliamentary activity, which we'll talk about in a moment. Then we'll have process observation, closing words and extinguishing the chalice, and announcements and recess.
Opening words and chalice lighting.
I'm the Reverend Dr. Adam Rober-Smith, one of your representatives on the UUA Board of Trustees. I am a white-passing, multiracial, queer person with glasses, 4 earrings, a septum ring, and short blonde hair. We begin our session today with gratitude for all the people who volunteer, who give of their time and talents to do the work of our faith. Those who help us shape worship, do justice, organize committees, deliberate and decide our business, find our way into the future. Everything that helps us live Unitarian Universalism each day. So let us hold those who find our volunteers, those who say a faithful no when they cannot do a task, and those who say a willing yes to serving. Let us hold them in our hearts and our minds, in our gratitude and our prayers today.
Update on the results of yesterday's ballot.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Simmons, and I serve as your UUA secretary. I am a member of Murray Unitarian Universalist Church in Attleboro, Massachusetts, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a black man with gray hair on the sides, wearing brown-rimmed glasses and a sunshine yellow shirt. One item that was not announced during General Session 1 on Friday is whether or not we have a quorum. According to our bylaws, a quorum is not less than 300 accredited delegates representing not less than 100 certified member congregations located in not less than 10 states or provinces. At the start of GA, we had 1,676 accredited delegates representing 560 certified congregations located in 49 states and provinces. This means we have a quorum. And now I have some results for yesterday's General Session 2 ballots. For the consent agenda ballot, we had 1,146 total voters. 1,080, or 99.1%, voted to adopt the consent agenda. 10, or 0.09%, voted not to adopt the consent agenda. 54, or 4.9%, abstained. The ballot passes. For the ballot, admit action of immediate witness, we declare and affirm immigrants are people who have inherent worth and inalienable rights. We had 1,146 total votes. 1,117, or 98.9%, voted yes to admit to the agenda. 13, or 1.2%, voted no not to admit to the agenda. 16, or 1.4%, abstained. The AIW is admitted. For the ballot, admit action of immediate witness, faithful defiance of authoritarianism, a call to action, reaffirming our covenants for democracy and freedom, we had 1,146 total votes. 1,094, or 97.4%, voted yes to admit to the agenda. 29, or 1.2%, voted no, do not admit to the agenda. 16, or 1.4%, abstained. The AIW is admitted. For the ballot, admit action of immediate witness, defending LGBTIQ freedom amid funding crises, a call for global solidarity. We had 1,146 total voters. 1,079, or 97%, voted yes to admit to the agenda. 33, or 3%, voted no, do not admit to the agenda. 34, or 3%, abstained. The AIW is admitted. And finally, for the ballot, select a congregational study action issue. We had 1,146 total voters. 606, or 53.4%, voted for housing, diversity, equity, and inclusion. 448, or 39.5%, voted for abolition, transformation, and faith formation. 80, or 7.1%, voted for fat liberation, building justice and inclusion for larger bodies. 12, or 1%, abstained. And now Charles will describe next steps related to the ballot for selecting a congregational study action issue. Thank you.
All right. As we noted earlier, there were some mistakes. And all these mistakes were made in good faith, and while we cannot determine whether this impacted the final outcome, we did receive legitimate concerns about these inconsistencies. In that vote, housing, diversity, equity, inclusion exceeded the 50% threshold by 40 votes, which would have made it our chosen CSI for the coming years. As you may know, if no CSI had received a majority of votes, we would today have a second round of voting for the top two issues. We are grateful that our rules of procedure hold us even when things don't go exactly as planned and provide a potential remedy for these concerns. Under Rule 3, the moderator can allow procedural motions that are in the interest of the General Assembly. And your moderators, co-moderators, have decided that in this case, we have decided that the most faithful choice is to entertain a motion to reconsider yesterday's CSAI vote. Out of abundance of care for discernment required, the board would like to lift up the power of the General Assembly itself to determine if we should redo yesterday's CSAI vote. So we have added a motion to reconsider to the agenda near the end of the session. It is a debatable motion, so we'll have a discussion, and then will be on your ballot after the session. And if the motion to reconsider would pass, we would need to use ranked choice voting. So that's going to be incorporated into the motion as well, because we just don't have enough days left to do two separate ballots if they're needed. So we'll discuss ranked choice voting too. So, parliamentary procedure people, this is your moment.
Update from the GA care teams.
And now we will hear updates from our GA care teams.
Happy Friday. I am Kim Diana Connolly. I use she, they pronouns. Oops. I am wearing my Climate Justice t-shirt in honor of climate justice revival and the commitment of our faith to this important reality. I am a white woman with long light brown hair, glasses, and I'm wearing my Covenant Team stole. I am a proud member of the UU Amherst congregation in Western New York on the land of the Haudenosaunee. And I'm also a member of the Church of the Larger Fellowship. They do cheer, that's kind of cool. I have the honor of serving as the co-lead of your Covenant team and working with the rest of the amazing members of the care teams. Remember, you can visit us in room 331. It's kind of cold in there, but there are snacks. Or email us if you need help. I have two things to share from the care teams today. First, the accessibility team volunteers have assistive hearing devices in the back, in case you don't know about them, and are happy to help you figure out the best place in the room to sit so that you can hear well. That's the first one. The second one is, as I walked in, I saw a lot, but not all of you, wearing your masks. This is our commitment to our health policy and our covenant. So I am going to be very lawyerly, because I'm a lawyer, and remind you of our safety and wellness commitments by reading you some of the language. By requiring masking in indoor spaces for GA-sponsored programming at this event, the UUA is going above and beyond the collective recommendations from our advisors and expanding upon the guidance offered in our 2024 Action of Immediate Witness. We do this out of a depth of care for and commitment to our most impacted communities during this time of overall risk and trauma. In sharing this GA's guidance, we recognize the need to have a broader conversation in the year ahead that engages all constituencies in discernment of our ongoing policies and practices. We commit to taking the time and space to discuss these critical issues in a manner that is in alignment with our values. And the covenant that we are all in together to be at this GA space says, the UUA seeks to maximize accessibility, inclusion, and radical welcome for all who wish to participate in General Assembly. Those who will attend in person are expected to be vigilant in self-care and health monitoring and respectful of the most vulnerable in our community. So, we on the care teams, on behalf of the UUA, really ask you to wear your masks in all group spaces, including the exhibit hall. And remind your friends and people you don't even know to wear their masks too. Together, we can model radical welcome and depth of care for our community and center love. Thank you.
It is the 10th anniversary of Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. Yeah! Otherwise known as Blue. Please enjoy this video about Blue.
Reflection.
Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, or Blue for short, is an inclusive spiritual community for Black people. We are unapologetically Black, unapologetically spiritual, and unapologetically liberated. Unitarian Universalism invites us to honor many spiritual lineages, traditions, and practices, while grounding in our shared commitment to seek justice and curiosity in this life. While Blue is a Unitarian Universalist community, we invite Black folks who aren't Unitarian Universalists to be part of our Blue spaces as well. Blue started in 2015 when a small group of Black Unitarian Universalists met at the Movement for Black Lives convening in Cleveland, Ohio. Since then, we've created a thriving community where people can worship together, learn more about justice and organizing, and enjoy getting to know other Black folks who care about the spiritual call to collective liberation. We center queer and trans people in our staff leadership and in our programming. We honor our elders and appreciate the wisdom of our youth. We have meaningful gatherings virtually and in person. During our worship spaces, we often say, "Welcome home." That's because we mean it. We're Blue. Nice to meet you.
And now please welcome to the stage Lena Gardner, the Executive Director of Black Lives of UU, otherwise known as Blue.
Hello. My name is Lena Catherine Gardner. I'm a tall, big, bright-eyed, middle-aged woman with caramel skin, hazel eyes, and of mixed heritage, including African descendants of slavery, the indigenous Oneida Nation of Wisconsin, and European descent. 10 years ago, in July, I went to the convening for Black Lives in Ohio, mentioned in the video. It was there that several of us who were at the convening happened to be UU and decided to get lunch together. We shared our experiences, our heartbreak, our joys, our deepest longings for liberation and for love. Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, also known as Blue, was born from that gathering. We all wanted a spiritual community where we could be unapologetically Black and unapologetically UU at the same time. We wanted to help push and encourage our UU siblings in faith to be more concerned with liberation for Black people and all people. We wanted a spiritual community where activism, change-making, where seeking justice wasn't seen as separate from our faith or as a side quest, but as an integral part of our faith. Yes, we can clap for that. We always moved from a place of deep love for Black people, all Black people, and an abolitionist framework. We believe that collective liberation is the only way to our full humanity, to healing ourselves, our community, and our world, and that love is the path to that liberation. We have not been perfect. Love never is, but we must keep building with love. And building we are, both metaphorically and tangibly. While we have participated in a variety of justice-oriented and activist endeavors, from the Mama's Day bailouts, to protesting pipelines at Standing Rock, to protesting child separations at the border, to going to the first Women's March, to awarding over $50,000 in disaster relief grants, and we are now building 17 units of cooperative housing inspired by a vision to house Black and Indigenous mothers and parents. And we are doing this while also continuing our spiritual care and worship for Black UUs and aligned Black and African-descended folks in the form of a pastoral care line, daily affirmations, offering monthly online worship, and recently adding a small group ministry program to our offerings. We are grateful to be a part of this broader, complex, and nuanced UU community and faith movement, and we are honored to continue working for Black and collective liberation. We could not continue our work without the support of hundreds of you over the past decade, and we will need your support now more than ever as we face growing fascism and Christian nationalism in our country. But we are not defeated. We are not broken, and we do not give up. In love, we continue to believe in building the impossible, in getting free, and in collective liberation for all of us. Thank you.
Last time I spoke too soon, this time I'm waiting too long. Okay. Now let's learn more about the holy work of being a UU volunteer at the national level.
Volunteer leadership recruitment.
Because I think it's important to give back to the faith that means so much to me.
I volunteered because I was keen to expand my horizons beyond the frame of my individual congregation.
For me, serving on this committee has been about getting back into serving a faith that has brought me a lot of joy, and I want everybody else to experience that as well.
And I serve the denomination because it saved my life with its good news. And I believe that we can do more, and we can bring more love and goodness into this world. And I want to help it do so.
It's extremely special, inspiring, and fulfilling, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to help create beloved community.
I enjoy working with other Unitarian Universalists who also center love and aspirations for more justice, equity, and belonging.
Our Unitarian Universalist Association runs best when people just like you come forth from our congregations and say, I want to do more. I want to help us meet the moment. I want this religion and this association to thrive.
There are so many opportunities to serve at the association level. From promoting the work of justice, to credentialing our religious educators and professionals, to stewarding our financial and fiscal future, to developing leaders, and to guiding our electoral process, even governing our association. It may seem like a lot, but the benefits are endless.
I love this work. I love the chance that we get to connect people in our faith to meaningful work that serves the denomination.
It makes me feel good to know that I'm doing my part.
I know I'm a better and more creative thinker and problem solver.
Our shared ministries have allowed me to deepen my own faith.
We want you to get involved.
Our association needs hard workers, great thinkers, creative writers, diligent phone callers, dazzling organizers.
We need tech geeks and math geeks and social action geeks and people geeks.
We need networkers and processors and dreamers and realists.
We need people who love our faith.
And because I love it, I'm going to ask you to get involved.
So I would recommend that everybody get involved.
And let's have some fun.
Get involved.
Learn more. Off-site, join our virtual reception Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Link in Hoover. In person, visit us on the UUA Expressway on Saturday at noon. Or visit the website, uua.org/UUA governance/volunteer.
Introducing the virtual hymnal.
Charles, I heard there might be a virtual hymnal.
Oh, yes! Cue the video.
Together we make beautiful harmony, but that's no surprise. Singing is a part of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, and so are our hymnals. I'm Camille Hatton. I'm a Korean American person wearing square blue glasses and a black hairband, and I don't have preferred pronouns. For nearly 2 years, I've served as the consulting project manager for our new UUA virtual hymnal, Sing Out Love.
And my name is Suzanne Lazars. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a middle-aged, cis, white woman with round orange glasses and shoulder-length brown hair parted on the left side. For the past 1.5 years, I've served on the Sing Out Love task force, helping to develop this online resource. I'm also a member of the Sing Out Love song selection team.
I'm on the song selection team too. My name is Dr. Baker Purdon. I use he, they pronouns. I'm a tall white man with black hair, clear frame glasses, a green nose piercing, and pearl earrings. Our song selection team has spent 6 months reviewing tons of submissions for Sing Out Love, and submissions are still open. We hope you'll love the hymns that we've selected. We'll sing many of those new songs throughout General Assembly, starting later this afternoon.
I'm Reverend Erica Hewitt. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a not tall, middle-aged white cis woman with wavy shoulder-length brown hair and a blue nose piercing. I serve as the Minister of Worship Arts for your Unitarian Universalist Association, and I've led the creation of this brand new hymnal, Sing Out Love. This journey has taken many years, but not as long as we have been singing. Fun fact, John Murray created the very first Universalist hymnal in 1776. And Unitarians published their first hymnals just a few years later. So for nearly 250 years, we have sung our living tradition. And today, in 2025, we also sing out love.
Sing Out Love is prophetic in both its content and its medium. It's an online collection of hymns, songs, and other resources accessible through a subscription on your smartphone, tablet, or computer.
We're grateful to the UUs and more than 130 congregations who beta tested our prototype hymnal last fall. Our team took your constructive feedback to heart. The Sing Out Love platform you access this week has even more bells and whistles.
So, as long as you have an active subscription to the hymnal, you have permission to do any of the following with the music in Sing Out Love. Make copies of the music for worship, live stream it in service, post the music online within the larger context of the full service, and project the hymns onto your screens. We can't wait for you to start engaging with this hymnal.
Over the next few months, our team will keep updating and fancifying the Sing Out Love version that you experience here at GA.
All GA participants have access to a trial subscription to Sing Out Love. We want you to have fun exploring its features and its music.
If you're wondering how to log in to your free Sing Out Love trial subscription, we are sharing those credentials in at least 2 ways.
If you're here on site, join us today from 3 o'clock to 3:45 at the In Spirit Learning stage in the exhibit hall. We'll get you logged into your free subscription, and then we'll sing our hearts out.
If you think we'll sing our hearts out today, just wait until Sunday morning. At 9:30 a.m. Eastern, our Sing Out Love team will host a joyful, multi-platform hymn sing. On site, folks, we will be in ballrooms 1 and 2 on the 400 level of this convention center.
For more details about Sing Out Love, please visit your Whova app or visit uua.org/singoutLove.
We can't wait to sing with you. Sing love, sing out love. Thank you.
Celebration of 25 years of Our Whole Lives. OWL.
Hello, I'm Dr. Melanie Davis, the UUA's Our Whole Lives Program Manager. I'm a white woman in my 60s with silver hair, clear frame glasses, and a royal blue dress. I am thrilled to announce the 25th anniversary of the Our Whole Lives life-affirming, life-saving sexuality education curriculum.
And I'm the Reverend Amy Johnson, Minister for Sexuality, Education, and Justice in the National Ministries of the United Church of Christ. I'm a white woman in my 60s with blonde hair, wearing black pants and a black shirt with a clergy collar. And I bring you greetings from our General Minister and President, Reverend Dr. Karen Georgia Thompson, and so much gratitude for a unique interfaith publishing partnership that brings OWL to UU congregations, UCC churches, and far beyond.
OWL provides engaging, medically accurate sexuality education that helps people of all ages respect and accept themselves and others, take pleasure in their bodies, make informed and responsible decisions, and advocate for their own and others' safety and rights.
This values-based program reflects the UUA's and the UCC's long-standing commitments to social justice and individual agency.
We honor the UU and UCC visionaries who created OWL, our field testers, and the 746 UU congregations that have sent more than 16,000 people to facilitator trainings over the years. We also honor congregations in 46 states, the District of Columbia, and Canada that have hosted facilitator trainings, as well as our UU, UCC, and community trainers across the US and Canada, as well as the Philippines, Sweden, Trinidad, and Tobago.
OWL has grown from 6 levels to 7 and now includes monthly webinars, online and in-person facilitator trainings, and small group ministry programs and videos for parents and caregivers. Its reach has increased, too. The Wisconsin Conference of the United Methodist Church now recommends OWL for its churches. OWL earned a Modulo Award and endorsement for homeschoolers. UU military chaplains have received OWL facilitator training, and the UCC has collaborated with Christian and Muslim religious leaders and health educators to pilot test an adaptation for Tanzania and Rwanda.
Ongoing attacks on school-based sex ed, reproductive health care, and the LGBTQIA community call us to lean into the ministry of Our Whole Lives more strongly now than ever. To learn how you can help expand OWL's reach through collaborative relationships, join us and our Side with Love colleagues tomorrow for a workshop called Our Whole Lives Sexuality Education as a Community Care Innovation. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to Our Whole Lives. We are proud to be in this ministry with you. Please enjoy. Please enjoy this video about OWL's impact and join us at 4 p.m. in the exhibit hall for a free 25th anniversary reception. Thank you.
When I became a parent, I knew it was going to be important to support my child's sexual development in, good ways, in affirming and honest and factual, all of the stuff. And to be able to answer his questions non-judgmentally and honestly. I had no idea how early those questions were going to start and how complicated they were going to be. So when our congregation announced that they were running Elementary OWL, we were so excited to get some help in answering some of his questions and to have a place where he could ask questions he didn't want to directly ask us.
OWL has 4 core values, one of which is self-worth. And there's so much in the world right now that says you don't count, you're not enough, who you are needs to be different. And yet OWL helps us understand more deeply that we are loved, that God made us just the way we are, that each of us is enough, and that we are all beloved.
Hi, my name is Lauren. And I'm Kate. Our parents made us take OWL when we were in middle school. And we're very glad they did. It gave me a better understanding of my gender and my sexuality. And it gave me a safe space to ask questions and learn about sexuality. And it was very different from what we learned in public school. If you imagine sex ed as an iceberg, schools cover the small parts above water, but OWL covers everything below the water, including the conversations and information young people need most. We feel very lucky we were able to take OWL.
One of the things I love about Our Whole Lives is the ability for us to be able to share our spirituality and sexuality in a way that is safe, nourishing, and self-empowering. It actually is saving lives. In a time like this, we need Our Whole Lives more than ever. So I encourage you to explore it, share it with all those in the name of Christ. God bless you.
This work, this OWL programming, this spiritual experience has been deeply impactful for me and my community and my family. It feels like when so much is happening in our country related to identity and projections of identity and what should and shouldn't be, that there's nothing more right than this work of OWL. And there's no better way to support each other in this time in understanding how sexuality and spirituality overlap. And that our religion, our faith, Unitarian Universalism, calls us to do this work. It's so powerful. So I'm sending this message to say, thank you, and please continue. Please continue to encourage participants across the country to join in this, to offer this, to help Unitarian Universalists identify the connection between spirituality and sexuality in religion, to speak up when those values are being threatened. And thank you again for this opportunity to participate in this programming and these trainings. I look forward to this work in the future.
Our Whole Lives OWL is an expansive sexuality education curriculum that honors every one of us on our respective journeys toward authentic and respectful sexual awakening, learning, exploration, experience, and wonder. OWL moves powerfully across diverse landscapes of identity, assumptions, stereotypes, generations, location, faith, and beyond, far beyond. May the journey continue. Happy 25th.
Thank you, Melanie and Amy. We're so proud of all that Our Whole Lives has accomplished over these 25 years. Its effect on both UUs and non-UUs is immeasurable. And now we'll hear from our friends at the Liberal Religious Educators Association, otherwise known as LREDA, about their 75th birthday.
Celebration of 75 years of the Liberal Religious Educators Association, LREDA.
We are Kathy Sagal and Gail Forsyth Dale, 75 years of the Liberal Religious Educators Association.
A story of faith and courage
carrying our values into the world, vital to Unitarian Universalism today.
I'm Linda Olson-Peebles, a white woman with chin-length silver blonde hair, wearing a navy blue shirt with horizontal white stripes. Religious educators of LREDA have shown courage to speak truth to the dominant culture in our congregations and beyond. It's all about helping people grow strong enough to challenge attitudes that harm people. It takes courage.
I'm Randy Becker, an older, balding, white-bearded, Caucasian, cis male wearing round glasses. LREDA has faced cultural upheavals, repression, and stresses by lifting up connections and solidarity. Members promote informed, inclusive understandings of the how of Unitarian Universalist faith engagement, demonstrating that our values help us make meaning in response to our world.
I'm Aisha Hauser, a brown woman with long black curly gray hair, wearing glasses and a keffiyeh. LREDA members have leveraged power and influence. Through organizing and collaboration, they gained the delegate vote, created a movement involving over 75% of our congregations, with teach-ins about the ways white supremacy impacts how we operate. With the UUA, LREDA created a credentialing process honoring religious educator professionals and our contributions.
I'm Natalie Fenimore, a brown-skinned woman with short hair, glasses, wearing a black shirt and a colorful scarf. Religious educators hold the legacy of Unitarian Universalism, its past, present, and future. LREDA continues to make the theoretical real by putting our values into action, challenging our communities to keep the living tradition strong, holding a vision of shared professional leadership with generous collaboration. LREDA shapes Unitarian Universalism.
I am Tim Atkins, with brown hair, a goatee, a teal and black shirt, and rainbow glasses. LREDA changes the world through steadfast advocacy for comprehensive sexuality education. It leads in supporting and protecting trans, non-binary, and genderqueer children and youth. As a red state religious educator, I know how this saves lives. LREDA was the first welcoming organization and answered the Commission on Institutional Change's call to dismantle white supremacy. Religious educators notice cultural trends and societal upheavals impacting children, youth, and families. LREDA leads the way, responsive and relevant, now and into the future.
A story of courage born of faith, of claiming power, staying on the leading edge of Unitarian Universalism.
We joyfully celebrate 75 years of this beloved professional organization.
Congratulations to LREDA on 75 powerful years. And I'm curious, how many people in the room have been involved with our whole lives over these years? So many of you. Thank you for this life-saving work. And now let's hear some music from our GA music coordinator, Natasha Steinmacher, and her friends.
Hello, I'm Natasha Steinmacher, your GA music coordinator. My pronouns are she, her. For accessibility, I'm a middle-aged white woman with a wavyish blondish hair, wearing a navy blue pantsuit and a blue music scarf.
And I am the Reverend Vertus LeVar Robinson, he, they pronouns, from the First Unitarian Church of Rochester. And for accessibility purposes, I am an African-American male with a little bit more salt than pepper these days, and not very short, but yeah, I'm very short, as well as I'm wearing a what may appear to be pink blazer, but it's actually blue and red checkered blazer. Happy to be with you, and I am the GA choir director for Sunday morning service.
My name is Carl Kennedy. I'm a white male, cisgendered white male with short brown hair and glasses. I'm out of Chicago, Illinois, and I am thrilled to be serving as the band leader for General Assembly this year.
And we are your GA music team, and we are joined by Matt Meyer on percussion. Please join us in a time of community singing.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
Co-moderators report.
Thank you, Natasha and Veritas and Carla and Matt. Yeah, indeed. It's great to be together, both in Baltimore and online. I suspect we've all learned by now that hybrid events, online and on site at the same time, multi-platform events, are much more challenging than we wish. If you are in Baltimore, I hope you'll feel free to be part of the online discussions that take place during general sessions and other times. I also find attending events from the comfort of my room from time to time can allow me more bandwidth to be present around other people when we're peopling. And if you're online, please use every platform you can to make meaningful community and connect with others. This is the fifth and final time that Charles Dumond and I will have the honor of facilitating General Assembly as your co-moderators. Because of that, we're thinking back on what we've accomplished and what we've left undone that we hope to accomplish during our tenure. I remember at the beginning of our tenure, former moderator, Mr. Barb Grieve, said to me, "Things will move more slowly than you think. 5 years won't seem long enough at the end." At the time, having never entered any position with that long of an explicit commitment, 5 years seemed like an eternity. And yet, as is usually the case, Barb was right. We came into our positions with the focus and direction of the report from the Commission on Institutional Change, widening the circle of concern. Both of us have kept that close at hand as we tried to keep moving forward during the pandemic. We were committed to not just having it be words on a page, but to bringing its wisdom into our association. And so once again, ongoing gratitude to the hardworking team who brought that report into being. Yeah.
A disclaimer. This report will cover what we have done and not done these past 5 years, but the we is not simply Meg and Charles. We includes other board members, UUA staff, committees, volunteers, GA delegates, and friends. And these weren't all new ideas from us. We were preceded by visionaries, and our work is like the last lines of the hymn, rank by rank. What they dreamed to be ours to do, hope their hopes, and seal them true. Meg and I accepted the nomination to be co-moderators in November 2019. Do you remember those days? Did we envision a global pandemic and that we would have to reinvent the way the association does business? Nope. So instead of regular trips to Boston, we met online a lot. In our 5 years as co-moderators, the UA board has never been all together in one location. There were 2 times in 5 years when the board had a multi-platform meeting, not including GAs, and many of the board members were there together in person. Only one of those meetings was in Boston. The Commission on Institutional Change report calls for completing the Article 2 review as mandated by the UA bylaws, and with the call for diversity, equity, inclusion as a lens used. It happened, and many of you were there. We were called to re-examine the governance structure of the UUA, and our bylaws renewal team has made substantial progress. But perhaps the biggest not done item on our list was changing the requirements for moderator. An unpaid volunteer position that requires a 6-year commitment really limits potential candidates. And despite that, we are having a competitive election for moderator or co-moderators, and we are so grateful for those who are willing to be candidates.
It was my deep privilege to serve as one of the board members supporting the Article 2 Study Commission as they sorted through the complexities of how to navigate an inclusive process to shape a new covenant together. All of the members spoke at times of the awe we felt in being part of a living tradition which brought the people together to shape our way forward. We know that not everyone agreed about the best way forward, and yet I am inspired every day to learn of ways that religious educators, youth groups, ministers, musicians, artists, congregations are re-envisioning our faith with that new covenant. And I still love and will always love our principles and purposes. One of the first recommendations of the Commission on Institutional Change report was to launch an accountability team and to sunset the Journey Towards Wholeness Oversight Committee, which had been working hard for a long time. We have tried multiple iterations of moving such a team forward and are delighted to say that we now have the draft of a charter for how to do this complex work. Tremendous gratitude to all of the people who have worked and continue working to move this forward during our tenure. I wish that we had moved things further along, and I'm grateful to leave it in the capable hands of the incoming moderator and board to keep working closely with the accountability team, which continues to be assembled.
You may recall that in the first online GA in 2020, we had very limited involvement from our UU musicians. The relationship between the UUA and the Association of Unitarian Universalist Music Ministries was in a very difficult place. For the next several months, a group of us met with representatives of AUM and worked to repair the relationship. A lot of painful experiences from past General Assemblies were shared. We found a path forward, we reset expectations, and all of us need to be mindful of our expectations for the people who bring us music ministry. This is true for the association and for our individual congregations.
The Commission on Social Witness continues to imagine how to strengthen the work of collective justice making in our movement. Right now, the bylaws dictate minutia about how they must operate, and they're not helpful. The wisdom and experience of the Commission on Social Witness will be central as these parts of the bylaws are revised in the coming years. Let's give a hand to those hardworking commissioners, okay? We were so glad this year to bring forward study action issues for your consideration. And as you can see, we made some mistakes doing it. But the actions of immediate witness are also powerful. And gratitude to all of you who brought your justice concerns to this movement and worked hard on them. Yes, absolute gratitude. 3 years ago, in 2022, this Assembly voted to suspend the General Assembly Planning Committee for 3 years. This decision was made because General Assembly continues to evolve in new ways, and the future needs for support are not certain. Since then, General Assembly and Conference Services staff have assembled an annual advisory group which supports their work as needed for that year's gathering. And thank you to all who have served on these committees. We recommend continuing the suspension for another 3 years as we live into these unpredictable times and General Assembly meets online or in multi-platform ways. Clearly, more discussions will take place about this in the coming years as the bylaws are revised.
Consider how business has changed at General Assembly. Our guiding principles have been accessibility and inclusion. Prior to 2020, we had modest numbers of people joining online. In 2020 and 2021, everyone was online. In 2022, we worked hard to understand how multi-platform business meetings could be more equitable, regardless of the delegate's platform. We acknowledge that the online experience is not equal to the on-site experience, and all the pro and con speakers appear on screen as if they are all on Zoom, regardless of being online or on-site. We have used an online moderator during a multi-platform debate. Special thanks to board member Reverend Suzanne Fass for proving it could be done. In the past, when there were votes, we used to hold up yellow cards on site. Sometimes we had the tellers run around the room with clickers to count the votes. Now we have one ballot per session, giving every delegate the opportunity to vote and more time to confer with their congregation before voting. Does anyone miss the procedural microphone? Oh, there might be a few of us parliamentary procedure folks who still dream about leaping up and shouting, "Point of order!" We have an information desk where questions can be answered without disrupting the entire meeting. And if it's important information for all the delegates, they let us know and we share it from the podium. And we have created more opportunities for you to be heard. Discussion used to be limited to a few minutes in the general session. Before the 2022 GA, we launched discuss.ua.org, a place where you can discuss the business of GA before and during GA. And if you don't make it to the microphone during the general session, go there and share your ideas.
In addition to the groups we've named, there are dozens of other volunteers in all kinds of positions working to move our association forward. Though we're not going to name them all, we see you. Let us see you. Wave your arms. Be identified. So many volunteers and so many... Wow, I don't see you. I know you're out there, but you're probably doing your work. And I really hope that people will express your gratitude, not only to Charles and me, but to all of these people. Our board is a hardworking, mission-centered group of people who perform tasks both visible and invisible day after day. We could not do our work without intense collaboration with staff, most especially, is she there? Yes. Stephanie Carey Marin. Yes, right there. Yeah. The unsung hero of the place, whose position has transformed to being completely focused on effective governance, and it makes a huge difference. Thanks also to Betty Clark for all of the support. Yep. We also work closely all the time with President Sophia Betancourt, Carrie McDonald, Ashley Haran, and David Valentine. Mutual communication and trust is essential for good work. Yes, for this collaboration. Let's hear it.
You may recall that Meg and I regularly say something like, "We know we will make mistakes, and when we do, we'll apologize and try to learn from it." I heard that earlier today. So we've done a lot of apologizing in the last 5 years, and we'll probably apologize some more before the end of GA. And we think we have learned and changed. We have also asked you to learn and change. Too often we hear statements during business discussions that are hurtful. It feels as if speakers have not taken the time to consider the impact of their words. We have asked you to consider your words before you speak. We have tried different methods to remind you of this. We'll try again this year. We have also asked you to practice self-care. If you know the discussion is likely to cause you pain, then please excuse yourself. Remember, you don't have to be in the discussion in order to vote. Your ballot will be available to you at the end of the session. Let's try to keep love at the center as we discuss things with one another.
Most of all, I'm grateful to have shared this position with Charles and for all of the lovely people I've encountered and deepened relationships with in this time. Shout out to the home team who has supported me throughout it, Nancy and Jai. Thank you to all of you for your support.
I received so much love and support from so many of you. Thank you. Thank you to all the board members, volunteers, and all the UUA staff who have been a part of these 5 years. Thank you to Barbara Harther-Dumond. And the biggest thank you goes to my friend and co-moderator, Meg Riley. To paraphrase a popular song and what has possibly become a cliche, because I moderated with you, I have been changed for good.
Appreciating the co-moderatorship of Meg Riley and Charles Dumond.
Hello, I'm Carrie McDonald, the UUA's Executive Vice President. For my visual description, I am a light-skinned, multiracial, non-binary person. I have chin-length, dark curly hair, and I have a light blue blazer and a dark blue flower pattern shirt. It is such a blessing to celebrate the successful end of a ministry, as we are here to do with our beloved co-moderators, Charles Dumond and the Reverend Meg Riley. The moderatorship is our association's highest volunteer office, as both chair of the board as well as the chief governance officer, responsible for presiding over the General Assembly. Their 5 years in this role required hours of commitment every week with countless staff and volunteers. Which is to say, in these past few years, I have had the privilege to get to know them quite well. Meg and Charles, it has been a high honor to serve with you. We've worked together as leaders of the board and administration to help the UUA navigate some exceptionally tricky times. You have shepherded the Board of Trustees and helped them find a new equilibrium after years of disruption. You solidified a pattern of strong partnership with the president and senior staff. During your moderatorship and with your essential leadership, as you have noted, you've helped the association navigate the pandemic, our first ever all virtual General Assemblies, the implementation of the 2020 Commission on Institutional Change report, a presidential transition, the smoothest in memory, the completion of the Article 2 revisions and adoption of our new shared values, the restructuring of our GA business process to be more democratic and accessible, the initiation of a bylaw review process, and many challenging GA discussions. And that is not even a complete list. Friends, yours is a powerful legacy.
Hi, I am Stephanie Carey Marin. I am the
the UUA's governance manager. I am a woman in my 40s, a white woman in my 40s with short brown hair and glasses, and today I'm wearing a deep green top. As the governance manager, I've had the absolute joy of working with Meg and Charles for the past 5 years. We've shared laughs, concerns, wins, whatever the opposite of a win is. Let's call it a learning experience. We've been in the trenches together, and we've bonded in the best, nerdiest ways possible. Let's start with Charles, a man with the best poker face I've ever experienced. Watching him in a meeting is like decoding ancient runes. Mysterious, intriguing, and maybe just a little divine. But behind the enigma is a wonderful person who listens with care, leads with humility, and consistently uses his privilege not to dominate, but to elevate. There's no grandstanding, just steady, grounded, thoughtful allyship. And then there's Meg. Meg's passion tends to arrive before she does. When she's on a mission, it's best to get out of the way and cheer from a safe distance. She has this gift for seeing people's potential and naming it in a way that hits you right in the feels. She doesn't seek the spotlight, she is the spotlight. And somehow she always turns it towards you. She's lifted me up more times than I can count, and I'm sure she's done the same for many of you. Together, Meg and Charles have been a powerhouse of courage, compassion, holy governance, and just the right amount of delightful weirdness. But most of all, their deep commitment to this faith has been a privilege to witness and support. Thank you, both of you, for everything. And here are a few more folks who want to share their gratitude and love.
What a joyous task I have today to celebrate the Reverend Meg Riley and Dr. Charles Dumond, who have served as co-moderators of our Board of Trustees for the past 5 years.
When I think about the leadership that Meg Riley and Charles Dumond have brought to the Unitarian Universalist Association, the words that come to the top of my mind are integrity, commitment, openness, partnership, and generosity of spirit and of commitment.
Charles and Meg, Meg and Charles, your names and lives forever connected. A heartfelt thank you for saying yes to serving as co-moderators, and deep thanks to your families for understanding and supporting you.
I'm so grateful to both of you in all the ways that you have been able to love us all fiercely, to show up for community when it mattered most. And now in this moment, we honor you.
Thank you for loving this faith so much to give of your time, your energies, your blood, sweat, and tears.
Your leadership has been a steady and reassuring presence, especially during challenging times for both our faith and our country.
You both have led with grace and humor, honesty and invitation, integrity and gratitude. You've held confidences and countless meetings. You've made changes and honored traditions. You have modeled how we can live into the faith we know Unitarian Universalism can be.
I am grateful for the ways that your commitment to partnership, not just to each other, but also as co-moderators in partnership with the President and Executive Vice President, for the ways that your commitment to that made my service less lonely, more meaningful, and sometimes even more fun and joyful.
I personally thank you for all the support you gave us on the Article 2 Study Commission. It couldn't have been done without you. Being our greatest cheerleaders at times, and at times being constructive critics of the work we were doing. And always doing it with kindness and with grace.
These have been impactful, transitional, powerful years for Unitarian Universalism, and I'm so grateful to you both. The legacy of the labor that you have done, not only to keep the momentum of changes, development, increasing depth of the faith going, but the faithfulness in how you held relationships, increased transparency, took a lot of anxiety on the chin at times to keep us in relationship, in conversation, in covenant as beloved community.
Those who seek the highest levels of leadership for our association are people who have a deep commitment to this faith and to its possibility in the world. And I saw you demonstrate that again and again.
There truly are not enough words and not enough thank yous to show appreciation for all the ways that you show up.
Personally, it has been an honor to serve with you and to call you both friends.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me be the first to welcome you to the past moderator cohort. I look forward to our next meeting.
Thank you for everything, your friendship, your service, your warmth, and the clarity and hope you have brought to our shared journey. You have truly helped light the way forward.
I love you both. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you.
I'm so grateful to you both. I can't wait to see what is next. And thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you are and have been. May you be blessed.
Please come forward. Let me add my personal and profound gratitude to you for saying yes to this call. Your steadiness, responsiveness, generosity, care, commitment to shared leadership, and unshakable devotion to our religious purpose have been a tremendous gift to Unitarian Universalism. You have left your mark on our faith, and on behalf of our entire association, please join me in thunderous applause on site, online, saying thank you, Meg Riley and Charles Dumont, for your incredible service.
And now, let's take this energy with us on a little break. We'll be back soon.
Hello, I am Natasha Steinmacher, your GA music coordinator. I'm joined by Reverend Vertus, Carl, and Matt. And as folks are coming back into the room, I invite you into a time of community singing. When we sing together, we can be together in a way that even our hearts can synchronize. And I believe in the power of community singing in bringing us together to do good work together. I'm going to teach you a new song just for you. World premiere, so I'll teach it to you line by line. Let us be together. Let us be together. In a way, hearts be together.
In a way, hearts be together.
That our hands may work together.
That our hands may work together.
And our lives will all be better.
And our lives will all be better.
Let us be together.
Let us be together.
In a way, hearts be together.
In a way, hearts be together.
That our hands may work together.
And our hands may work together.
And our lives will all be better.
And our lives will all be
together.
better. Let us be together. In a way, hearts be together. That our hands may work together. And our lives will all be better. Let us be together. In a way, hearts be together. That our hands may work together. And our lives will all be better.
Now we've got a low part that we're going to teach you.
Yes. Let us be together in our hearts be together, that our hands may work together and our lives will all be better. Let us be together in our way, hearts all be together, that our hands may work together and our lives will all be
Let's
better.
do those two parts together.
Yes. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let us be together, that our way, hearts be together, that our hands may work together, that our lives may all be better. Let us be together in our way, hearts be together, that our hands may work together, and our lives will all be better.
I've got a higher part too for the higher singers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Let us be together in a way, hearts be together, that our hands may work together and our lives will all be better. Let us be together in a way, hearts be together, that our hands may work together and our lives will all be all the parts
better.
now. Let us be together in a way, hearts be together, that our hands may work together and our lives will all be better. Let us be together in a way, hearts be together, that our hands may work together and our lives will all be better. Let last time.
Let us be together in our way. Hearts worry together and our hands they work together and our lives will all be better.
Thank you for joining me in singing with gratitude for this time together.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Y'all ready to sing? And all verses here, yeah, not just the first one. Ready? Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for our gathered here in those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Second verse. Oh, we give thanks for the old and young, for the time of wonder and joy and fun, for all we give as we grow and live. Oh, we give thanks for the old and young. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. We give thanks for this precious day.
President and Executive Officers Report.
Turn it on? Oh, it is on. Thank you. Let me try that again. Good afternoon, beloveds. Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, and let me say how grateful I am for our tech team. Can we just give some thanks? Thank you. It remains my real privilege to serve as president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. I am once again a fat, queer, caramel-colored skinned, Afro-Latina cis woman with dark locks pulled back behind my shoulders. I'm wearing glasses and a teal dress with a black blazer over it. I use she, her pronouns. Beloveds, we don't get to choose the eras that we live through or serve within. We shape them with courage when we can, with a commitment to shared survival and communal care. This is who we are, first and foremost, a people shaped by love itself. Love that does not shy away from the impossible needs of a struggling world. Love that abides at the places where pain can shape us beyond all naming. Love that calls us back to community again and again. Love that is renewed when we are blessed to gather together. The thing is, we do get to choose how we live into these days. We choose the core values, the strategic practices, essential institutions, and beloved people whom we put at the center of our living, and that, in this year, has been the primary work of your UUA and of this beloved faith. Knowing this, I want to begin by thanking those leaders who gave their voices and honed their craft in service to us all this year. Our UUA staff, I know you are in the hall, bless you all. Our National Board of Trustees and volunteers on our boards and committees. I'm grateful for our religious professionals, for congregational leaders, for every board president and RE teacher and fund drive coordinator, alongside every single one of you who attended the protests, who wrote the letters, shared the strategy, and shouted loudly enough that your opposition and your faithful commitment shone through. We live, serve, work, and worry, if I'm honest, in these days that are given to us, all while holding ourselves in relationship to a living tradition whose spiritual, theological, and communal wisdom teaches us that revelation is not sealed, that the way always leads on. This year, we honor and celebrate the 200th anniversary of the founding of the American Unitarian Association, knowing that our shared values are the most recent expression of a historic commitment reaching back through the generations. We share this beautiful anniversary with our colleagues in the British Unitarian Association, whose institutional body was founded on the very same day, separated by an ocean but held close by mutual commitments. I want to specifically thank their chief officer, Liz Slade, who was with us here in Baltimore. Even this very year, at their own General Assembly, our British partners passed a resolution in support of all of us during this time of political upheaval and risk in our nation. That's worth applauding. Our cousins with the Canadian Unitarian Council also passed a statement affirming transgender and non-binary communities, again in solidarity and in partnership with all of us. I want to also welcome Vida Eng, the CUC Executive Director, who is with us here in Baltimore. I also want to welcome and thank our other international guests, including representatives of the Hungarian Unitarian Church, the Unitarian Union of Northeast India, and leaders of the new UU Global Network. Will you join me in welcoming our family? Thank you. Serving in the context of these lasting values is a ministry in and of itself. It is not an exercise in individual excellence, but in communal care, in mutual aid. And that is why we are before you offering this report as executive officers of your Unitarian Universalist Association, meaning that we were elected by you or appointed by your UUA Board of Trustees, rather than giving a report in a single presidential voice. Beloveds, this work has never been mine alone, but it is all of ours, across our organizations and throughout our history.
Hello again, friends. I'm Carrie McDonald, Executive Vice President of the UUA. I use they and them pronouns. I'm a light-skinned, multiracial, non-binary person in my late 30s with chin-length, dark curly hair, a light blue blazer, and a dark blue shirt, and a little UUA logo lapel pin. Institutions have never been more important in our democracy than right now. Civil society must be a bulwark against fascism, and our status as a religious community is a superpower. We have explicit protection under the Constitution's First Amendment that other organizations do not. Even under siege from Christian nationalism, hostile governments, and right-wing militias, your UUA continues to hold the heart of the faith alongside all of you. We are leveraging the power of our religious tradition to sue the Trump administration to sue the Trump administration to stop a policy that would allow immigration raids in our churches, our houses of worship, threatening the sanctity of our free religious practice and our outreach ministry with undocumented members and neighbors. We joined this lawsuit this February alongside 26 other Jewish and Christian religious groups, knowing there is safety and power in numbers and our shared beliefs and commitments to solidarity with the stranger. As it winds its way through the federal courts in the months ahead, we'll continue to support other cases too, like the amicus brief we supported in the Medina v. Planned Parenthood case, where our religious stance truly matters. We are also thinking more expansively about bold witness and how to keep one another safe. Check out our Community Resilience Hub on UUA.org and watch for opportunities to join Meet the Moment Wave cohorts this fall, focused on risk management, organizing, and innovation. The UUA also continues to support and track congregations who are targets of harassment and threats, working through our UUA regional staff with external partners. As you think about safety in your own community, you do not have to bear this burden alone. Let your wider faith community help you hold it. In this time of reckoning, we all feel the heat of fear for ourselves, for our congregations, for our loved ones. Yet there is no safety in shrinking from the limelight. UUs must be thoughtful and deliberate about the risks we take precisely so we can be ready for strategic, prophetic action when the moment demands. And that is what is happening right now. Congregations are fighting deportations, publicly defending trans lives and trans kids, reimagining their buildings for climate resilience. The stories of the faithful work UUs are doing every day are truly inspiring. You can applaud for that, absolutely. And to sustain this witness and ministry through the choppy waters ahead, we must be good stewards of our resources. When our congregations face budget challenges, so does the UUA. Congregational giving through the annual program fund is our largest funding source, and we have tremendous gratitude for that generosity. With the UUA Board of Trustees, we have committed to a 3-year path to financial sustainability through growing our income and reducing expenses. That includes sunsetting programs that have successfully completed their charge, such as the UU College of Social Justice partnership between the UUA and the UU Service Committee. For a dozen years, UUCSJ has created spiritually grounded activists through service learning, volunteer placements, youth group trips, and more. Now, as our UUA's Side with Love and the UUSC's advocacy and program teams have grown, we can celebrate that robust, effective infrastructure for justice organizing has permeated our faith. We thank the skilled CSJ staff who have stewarded this prophetic work over the years, as well as everyone who has gone on a CSJ trip, led a program, or joined a webinar. Thank you for making it such a success. This is all part of a strategic orientation of our staff and support systems to be ready to meet this moment. And going forward, these shifts are made possible with the leadership of our fantastic new Vice President for Finance and Investments, Dave Valentine.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. Hello. I am a light-skinned, cisgender, black man who wears glasses and currently has on a blue suit and a green shirt, and I go by the pronouns he and him. This month is the 9th month of my time here at the UUA, and it's been a true pleasure to work with all of my colleagues across the association and to start the process of improving our services to all of you within the UU world. My team will take on the name of Business Services in the new year, and we are moving forward with the call of high-quality service in a fiscally responsible manner as a marker. I want to introduce this remarkable team, many of whom are UUs themselves. Carol Gable leads the finance and accounting team. Matthew Jensen, yeah, give her a clap, that's great. Matthew Jensen leads the investment office and the UU Common Endowment. Reverend Richard Nugent leads church staff finances, including the healthcare plan and the retirement plan. Larry Stridoff leads information technology services, and Michael O'Haron, who has led business operations for over 30 years. Yeah, well, the generosity of our congregations and individual donors is the central way we fund UUA staff and programs. The UUA also offers subscription programs, including the UUA Health Plan and the UU Common Endowment, that are fully aligned with UU values. If you haven't looked at those services in a bit, I think you should take a look. You will find some things that are attractive. And we are really making changes based on the feedback that you provided. I also encourage you to donate to the Disaster Relief Fund, to the Living Tradition Fund, and the scholarship funds, where the UUA provides a platform for your direct generosity to one another. As we move forward, we invite all of you to be in conversation with us about our financial and operational sustainability and how you can be part of building our path forward.
I am the Reverend Ashley Horan, a white, fat, queer femme with long red hair and a side cut wearing a peacock blue suit. I use she and her pronouns, and I serve as the UUA's Vice President for Programs and Ministries. This, beloveds, is a moment of reckoning for our faith. Today's landscape is different than that of even 1 year ago. This moment is rife with both challenges and opportunities that demand we ask, as our forebears have before us, which aspects of our faith are so essential that without them we would no longer be Unitarian Universalists? And which aspects must be shed, like the skin of a snake or a pair of too small shoes when we find they are constricting our ability to move and grow? As stewards of this living tradition, we faithfully interpret spiritual inheritances of our ancestors. While our values transcend time, the forms we use, governance, liturgy, programs, policies, are ever rightly evolving. So as climate chaos, generational tensions, rising fascism, financial realities, and the spiritual dynamics that those things bring, as those define the current moment, we must nurture what is already flourishing, retire what has outlasted its usefulness, and explore new possibilities to expand our impact and our relevance. The UUA is in the throes of this kind of recalibration and reimagination ourselves. We have begun stakeholder-driven reviews of both our ministerial search and settlement system and the pathways for ministerial formation and credentialing. We are building out an unprecedented network of safety and solidarity for trans people through Pink Havens. In its 25th year, Our Whole Lives Lifespan Sexuality Education is updating curricula, expanding capacity, yes. Our brand new hymnal, virtual hymnal, Sing Out Love, is debuting this week, as you have heard. Come sing with us. while our Community Resilience Hub offers resources and learning opportunities for navigating the challenges of leadership under rising authoritarianism. The Climate Justice Revival, UU the Vote, Building the Beloved Community Beyond the Binary, have engaged hundreds of congregations in theologically grounded, nationally aligned, locally focused and rooted work to cultivate resilience and resistance. But this is not just the work of the UUA staff. All our congregations and communities are facing the same adaptive challenges. What will the future of religious education look like? How will we deal with our aging buildings, reimagine stewardship, and re-examine what belonging looks like for people under 35? How will we fiercely protect our own institutions under fascism while leveraging our privilege and resources to take risks on behalf of our neighbors? The stakes are too high for us to lose touch with the essence of who we have been or to cower from growing into being the people we are called to be. In the time ahead, we must unleash our most audacious moral imagination and make concrete, practical investments to fortify our UU institutions and leaders. The Meet the Moment framework we are trying on this week at General Assembly and that will ripple across the UU ecosystem in the coming months is intended to help us de-silo and create space for the right conversations, strengthen our web of relationships and our toolbox of tactics, surface our most critical commitments, and develop shared strategies to chart the course into the future. The time is now for Unitarian Universalism to align our energies, to show up courageously and intentionally together, to minister to the world as it is, and to call into being the world as it could be. Beloveds, we are a people who make dreams of a better future real through concrete action. We have always found new ways to advance the values that we hold together, and I have every faith that our collective efforts can change the landscape of this hurting and beautiful world. May we resist the tendency to spend our energy squabbling among ourselves or trying to find a perfect way. Please, 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 may we do that sacred work together. Instead, let us engage in honest labor together because we know it will take all of us in community to respond to these times. Our faith, our nation, our values, and our world demand nothing less. It remains a privilege to be in this shared ministry with all of you and with all of you. Thank you for all that you do and will do in your shared ministries. Did you want us to stand? Okay.
Thank you, Sophia, Carrie, Ashley, and Dave. And now we'll hear about next steps in the Bylaws renewal process from the Bylaws renewal team.
Update from the Bylaws renewal team.
I am the Reverend Ariel Aronson Eves, a light-skinned person with medium-length brown hair. I serve as the minister of the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Exeter, New Hampshire, and I use any pronouns. In 2022, the General Assembly passed a resolution to renew the UUA bylaws for theologically grounded and mission-focused governance. The purpose of this work is to enable the association to be better organized and more nimble to meet the moment, responsive to the needs of our congregations, connected organizations, and affiliates, responsible to all that we steward, and embodying the core principles of our faith. Over the years, we have identified many of the places where the bylaws are awkward and outdated, serving as barriers for engagement and obstacles for volunteers and staff. This work involves big picture rethinking and attention to detail, like which committees must be defined by the bylaws and how we might expand the definition of membership to better reflect our diverse UU community.
My name is Reverend Connie Simon. I am a fat, Black woman with tight salt and pepper hair wearing purple and teal glasses. I am the interim minister at the River Road Unitarian Universalist congregation in Bethesda, Maryland, and I use she, her pronouns. As Reverend Ariel mentioned, our current bylaws often hinder the work of the association. And as tempting as it may seem, it wouldn't be practical or productive to discard them and start over. But how can we reimagine our bylaws in a thoughtful, comprehensive way that also allows for congregational input and feedback, discussion, and stakeholder involvement? This spring, we proposed a more practical, phased approach, the WAVE strategy, which your UUA board fully supports. This multi-year rewrite framework allows us to divide our current bylaws into broad subject areas or themes or waves. Each wave moves through a clear process: study, development, vote, and implementation, while allowing for ongoing input and reflection. Like waves in the ocean, multiple waves will move forward at the same time. Every year, a new wave begins, ensuring a thoughtful, manageable revision process.
My name is Kathy Purek. I'm a gray-haired white woman. I'm a member of the Merging Waters Unitarian Universalist congregation in New Brighton, Minnesota. I use she, her pronouns. Just as waves have a rhythmic pattern, so too does our wave process. Each group of bylaws sections in a particular wave will follow the same cycle. Year 1, study. We'll engage in a study of those sections. We'll invite stakeholders to discuss whether that section serves a useful purpose, if it needs to be in bylaws at all, or whether it should live in bylaws rules, board policy, or GA rules. Year 2, develop. We develop proposed changes based on what we've learned. Year 3, vote. Proposed amendments are discussed and voted on at General Assembly. The threshold for adoption for the proposed amendment will depend on the requirements of those specific sections. Some sections might require a two-step process for adoption. Year 4, implementation. Adopted changes go into effect unless a delay is needed. Each year, a new wave starts, overlapping with others in different stages. For example, in year 2027, Wave 1 will be in year 3, vote, while Wave 2 enters year 2, develop, and Wave 3 begins year 1, study.
My name is Barbara DeLeo. I'm an elder with brown skin and silvery hair, and I'm a member of First Unitarian Church of Rochester, New York. I use she, her pronouns. This is what the WAVE process will look like over the next few years. During the 2025-2026 church year, after GA, the Bylaws renewal team will gather input on sections of Article 4, General Assembly, and Article 5, Committees of the Association. That will be year 1 of Wave 1, study. During the 26-27 church year, we will reframe for consideration sections of Article 4 and 5, and that will be year 2 of Wave 1, develop. At the same time, church year 2026-27, Wave 2 will begin. The team will study Article 6, Board of Trustees, Article 7, Committees of the Board of Trustees, Article 8, Officers of the Association, and Article 9, Nominations and Elections. It will be year 1 of Wave 2, study. 3 church years from now, 2027-2028, we will be crafting our first bylaw changes for a vote at GA 2028. That will be year 3 of Wave 1, vote. Also, during the 2027-2028 church year, we will begin the developmental phase of Articles 6 through 9. Wave 2, Year 2. Subsequent changes will follow the same 3 to 4 year pattern. You may have noticed that we've only mapped out the first 2 waves. The Bylaws renewal team believes as we move through each wave of our bylaws, nimbleness and flexibility throughout the process will be our greatest strength. If a wave section needs more time or a different order, we will need to adapt. Our process is guided, but not rigid, just like waves.
My name is Larry Lamb. I'm an older cisgender white male with a beard wearing glasses. I'm a member of the UU congregation in Falmouth, Massachusetts. I use he, him pronouns. As we work to revitalize and strengthen our governance, we invite you to reflect. What parts of our current bylaws are holding us back? What changes could better support our mission and empower us to deepen and grow our faith community? We encourage you to stay informed by visiting uua.org-bylaws-renewal-team. And please share your thoughts with us at bylaws@uua.org. We'll also connect with stakeholders via discussions, webinars, email, surveys, and more. Our most important message to you is that this work belongs to all of us. Your voice matters. Stay involved. Help us build a stronger foundation for the future. Thank you.
Discussion of business resolution.
And we can thank the Bylaws renewal team. Yes, thank you. Right. We will now consider a business resolution to continue the suspension of the General Assembly Planning Committee for 3 more years. I will again invite you to please be respectful, please do not use contemptuous language, please speak to persuade rather than offend, please center our shared values and identify one or more values in your words. Practice self-care, keep love at the center as we discuss things with one another. If you have a question about process or procedure, please contact the information desk, where we have UUA Executive Vice President Carrie McDonald and our legal advisor and parliamentarian Adrian Walker. Now, let me introduce the Reverend Suzanne Fast, member of the board, part of the Mod Squad, who is going to facilitate this discussion from online.
Hi, y'all. I am the Reverend Suzanne Fast, and it has been an honor to serve on your board of trustees this last 6 years. I am an older white woman with long dark hair, wearing glasses and headphones, and wearing a full and pink jacket and a black top. So the way this works is that we're going to pause now for a couple of minutes so that people can get in line to speak. And during this time, please chat with your neighbor, either online or on site, about this proposed business resolution. Please set the discussion time for 20 minutes. I recognize Barbara DeLeo from the UUA board for 2 minutes. Please set the speaker time for 2 minutes.
My name is Barbara DeLeo, she, her. I'm a brown-skinned senior with silvery hair and glasses. My home congregation is First Unitarian Church of Rochester, New York, sibling to First Universalist and UU Canandaigua. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees and the UUA Bylaws renewal team. Alas, 3 years have passed very quickly. The General Assembly leadership and volunteers are trying new things and reimagining events, activities, and programs. Each year, General Assembly has been more and more welcoming, joyful, and fun. As you heard from Reverend Meg Riley during the Co-moderators report, an advisory group works with the UUA General Assembly and Conference Services staff. They continue to support ways to integrate volunteers into the planning process. And as you heard during the report from the UUA Bylaws renewal team, we have planned a process that will invite you for input from stakeholders, delegates, and congregations before making recommendations about any possible changes in the bylaws as they relate to the committees of the association. But we need just a little more time. The UUA Board of Directors asks for an affirmative vote on the business resolution suspending the UU bylaws required membership and activities of the General Assembly Planning Committee, commonly known as the GAPC, for an additional 3-year period until 2028. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Well, it's a new one for me, but we have no one in the queues. So this will conclude our discussion of the business resolution, and it will be on today's ballot.
Report from the Climate Justice Team.
Can I say something? Just to let you know, because we anticipated some discussion, the Climate Justice Team wasn't quite all gathered together, so they're working on that right now, so it'll just be a minute or two while they get themselves together so that we can do this. So, thank you for being efficient with your decision-making today.
Hi, my name is Antoinette Scully. My pronouns are they and them. I'm a member of First Unitarian Los Angeles, and I'm a staff member of the UU Women's Federation. I am a dark-skinned brown woman with long locks pulled back in a braid, adorned with hair jewelry.
Hi, I'm Reverend Peggy Clark. I'm senior minister at Community Church of New York and have been a climate activist a long time. I'm a white, cisgendered woman with red hair and a ponytail on the top of my head.
I'm the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. I have not changed a whole lot in the last 20 minutes, but I have had a costume change. And I want to let you know that we are all wearing gray t-shirts with Create Climate Justice in white letters, surrounded by flowers, and we're joined by the members of our working group up here on the stage. During my presidential campaign, this is about 2 years ago now, I made a commitment to continuing and expanding the UUA's comprehensive work on climate justice. In February of 2024, I convened the President's UU Climate Justice Working Group to help us write the next chapter of this shared work. The group was established to identify where our faith calls us to lead beyond narrowly defined net zero goals towards equitable decarbonization, community resilience, and a just transition from fossil fuels to a clean energy future. That's worth celebrating. I co-convened this working group with Rachel Mislivy, our UUA climate justice strategist, with ongoing support from Carrie McDonald, UUA Executive Vice President, and Matthew Jensen, UUA Senior Investment Officer.
Sophia invited UU leaders to join this shared work based on their unique expertise, perspective, and relationships to climate justice. Work group participants included Reverend Amanda Weatherspoon, Antoinette Scully, Dr. Dan McKinnon, David Stewart, Reverend Kelly Dignan, Malia Hausnecht, Pamela Spar, myself, Dr. Rashid Sheikh, thank you, and Zoe Johnston. We engaged in months of deeply relational collaboration. Each person's perspective was critical, and all ideas needed to be considered equally valid. To reduce bias and encourage open conversation, we shared ideas anonymously whenever possible. Our process was intentionally iterative rather than declarative. Our work was grounded in UU values and guided by systems thinking principles and participatory decision-making. We engaged in activities to broaden our focus, explore multiple perspectives, and engage with ideas in a variety of ways. We were empowered to collaborate with intention and curiosity, and to share the responsibility of crafting shared goals and draft commitments. We celebrate and build upon the existing UUA commitments to climate justice, including implementing a comprehensive plan to eliminate greenhouse gas emissions from its investments through specific divestment, investment, and advocacy actions by 2045. Maintaining a full-time climate justice strategist on national staff and a part-time climate justice fellow. Collaboratively organizing the first ever UU Climate Justice Revival. That should get a big cheer, and revitalizing the Green Sanctuary process and materials, supporting UUs with the Disaster Preparedness and Response Toolkit.
Our draft commitments fall into two categories: culture and resources. We recommend that the UUA strategize and support a culture shift from historical environmentalism to intersectional climate justice aligned with our 4 essentials of climate justice: congregational transformation, community resilience, justice and mitigation. It also includes creating opportunities to build radical, beloved community through faith formation and spiritually grounded, intersectional, justice-centered climate actions, cultivate physical, relational, and political resilience in our communities, commit to a new abolitionism that rejects extractive systems of harm and creates flourishing communities by following frontline leadership as a faith practice. Support UU congregations to reach Real Zero by 2050. We recommend advancing Real Zero aligned investment policies, resource strategies, and ongoing collaborations, including increase community investments to support those most harmed by injustice and allow congregations to invest directly in this incredible work, provide greater transparency and reporting into all these efforts and impacts they have. Support UUs to align our finances with our values. Support congregations with education, energy transition financing, and Real Zero aligned investment options. Continuously adapt to changing realities and collaboratively coordinate, so many letters, to engage congregations, corporations, and governments to advance climate justice through policy, protest, and practice. Creating climate justice is the work of our faith broadly. As such, we encourage the UUA to support congregations, affiliated organizations, and the UUA staff to turn these draft commitments into tangible plans and actions. To learn more, join the UUA Strategies to Address Climate Justice workshop this Saturday from 1 to 2:30, and follow the UUA.org/climate justice for updates.
So, I am excited about the next stages of this work. Are you excited? This work, which will continue to bring our UU organizations and leaders together in collaboration with our UUA staff and Board of Trustees to strategize, sequence, and implement the best ways forward to turn these draft commitments into bold climate justice action that we can undertake together as a faith. Let me also express my profound gratitude for the vital work of this climate justice working group. Their good work, their faithful work, represents a profound breakthrough in how we engage and take responsibility for climate justice together, and we could not have done it without them. So in the spirit of the climate justice revival, we are inviting all UUs to reimagine together how we do this critical work with love at the center. Will you say these words with me? Let's reimagine together, reimagine together, reimagine together. Thank you, beloveds.
Is there going to be a slide or not? All right. Okay. Can I go? All right. All right. We will now take up the motion to reconsider the vote of the CSAIs. And remember, this is your decision whether we're actually going to reconsider it or not. This is the option that we found that we'd be most likely to be able to help redo some of the harm that happened yesterday. So this is a motion to redo yesterday's vote. If the motion passes, we will have another session for CSA presentations. We'll have them do presentations again tomorrow with the focus on making sure that all the CSIs are given enough time to be heard and that all are treated in a similar manner. And after that, you will vote for your choice of CSI to study for the next 2 years. Here's the language. Motion to reconsider Congregational Study Action Issue, CSAI, proposal voted on at GA Session 2 on June 19th, 2025, to nullify that vote and to hold a new vote using ranked choice voting where delegates will indicate their first, second, and third choices, thus ensuring a 50% plus one majority choice in a single vote. Should a second vote be required because a majority CSI was not received by first choice, the ranking will be utilized to affect that vote and derive the majority choice. The UUA already uses ranked choice voting in election of candidates, so it is not new to us, and we need your permission to use that with this motion. Okay, so that's the idea. We're just to make sure everybody understands. We're trying to sort of do a do-over because there were a lot of mistakes yesterday. But you get to decide whether we do the do-over or not. We're giving you the option. So that's what the vote's going to be. We're going to pause a couple minutes for, again, if people want to get in line to speak either in favor of doing the motion to reconsider with ranked choice voting or opposed to doing the motion to reconsider ranked choice voting. Now's your chance to go get in the pro-con lines. So please do that now. I might change that as we see how the debate goes. Okay, we'll start with 10 minutes for discussion. Sherilyn Reno is recognized for 2 minutes to propose the motion and speak from the pro line. Please set the speaker timer for 2 minutes, and let's welcome Sherilyn.
My name is Sherilyn Reno, and I'm a delegate from the UU Society of Grafton and Upton in Grafton, Massachusetts. I am a white, fat woman of certain age with red hair pulled back, and I'm wearing a blue dress with white flowers and a purple cape. I am here to make a motion to nullify the results of the Congressional Study Action Issue item that was voted on yesterday at General Assembly Session 2. I further move for a new vote using ranked choice voting where delegates choose their first, second, and third choices. We hope this ranking will enable us to avoid an additional vote if there is no clear majority. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move to the concern line, and I see Dick Burkhart. So please set the speaker timer for 2 minutes, and let's recognize Dick Burkhart.
Hello, I'm Dick Burkhart from Seattle. I'm a delegate from the Spokane UU Church and a member of the Saltwater UU Church near Seattle. Aging man, and in this case, I happen to be an expert on voting methods. And so I strongly support some version of ranked choice voting, although I prefer the border count in this case. And I really would love to see in the future our bylaws renewal team making sure that they use a version of ranked choice voting for both the AIWs and CSAIs. But also I've looked at the results here, and knowing I have a lot of experience with these methods too, it's very, very unlikely that if we do ranked choice voting, it will change the outcome. Ranked choice voting is much more appropriate when no one gets a majority and you want a clear winner. That makes sense, and you can have coalitions forming, but it's unlikely in this case. So even though I like ranked choice voting, I say I don't think it's going to make any difference, and we've done our thing, and I say live with it.
All right, thank you. All right, our next speaker is from the pro line. It's John Newhall, Vice Moderator of the Board. I recognize John for 2 minutes. Please set the speaker timer for 2 minutes.
I'm John Newhall. I'm a member of the First Church in Salem, Massachusetts. I currently serve as Vice Moderator and Trustee on your UUA Board of Trustees, as well as being the liaison to the Commission on Social Witness. I'm a young adult with brown hair and pale skin. I'm wearing a checkered shirt with a tan jacket and round blue glasses. Sometimes the decisions we make are incredibly complex and require a system that recognizes such nuance. By attaching a ranked choice voting is such a system. By attaching ranked choice voting system to this motion, we will be able to live into the multiplicity of our faith. We will allow the nuance of our CSAI process to fully exemplify our social justice commitments. Our CSAI proposals are all worthy of study and exploration as our faith works to embrace justice, equity, and love. Reconsidering the motion from yesterday with a ranked choice voting system will not only enable decisions to be made within the required time frame, but also help us to live into our shared values. I encourage delegates to vote in favor of this motion to reconsider. This will help to fully address the nuances of our decision as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now recognize Sally Gellert from the concern line. Please put 2 minutes on the speaker timer, and let's welcome Sally.
Good afternoon. I'm Sally Gellert from Central Unitarian Church in Westwood, New Jersey. I find it a little odd to be objecting to ranked choice voting, but that's not really what I'm doing here. I know there were mistakes made yesterday. I know that there was some pain, but I don't think it was, I think the decision was clear. We had a majority decision, and I don't want to take time away from tomorrow's session and limit what people say so that we have an extra 40 minutes of discussion that people can see online, that people can see on the Discuss platform. I wish it had been perfect, but it wasn't, but I think it was good enough. So let's move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I now have from the Pro line, Cynthia Landrum. Let's put 2 minutes on the speaker timer and welcome Cynthia.
Hello, I'm the Reverend Dr. Cynthia Landrum, a middle-aged white fat demi-woman with chin-length brown hair and a busy, colorful shirt. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm a ministerial delegate of the First Parish Church of Stowe and Acton. I am also a member of the CSW, the Commission on Social Witness, and we want you to know we support this motion. All of the CSAIs represent large teams of people who worked for months on these proposals and were carefully prepared for a process that got dramatically changed in time of day, length of speaking, order of presenting, and number of responses. This resulted in a process which was unbalanced and unfair, and we ask you to vote yes to reinforce our values of equity and justice. We want you to know that the CSW has been working hard to contact all of the CSAI teams, and they are all prepared to present the CSAIs again tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. I next have from the Concern line, Lori Stevens. Please put 2 minutes on the speaker timer, and let's welcome Lori.
Hi, y'all. My name is Lori Stevens. I use she, her pronouns. I am a mixed race Latina with light brown skin, a buzz cut, glasses, and a cat shirt. I'm here to speak a concern, not necessarily against. I'm really glad we're giving folks another chance to hear about these important issues, whether or not it would have affected their voting choice, because our delegates act as liaisons both to GA and back to their congregations. So to give them the chance to hear more information so that they can carry it back is really important. I think scheduling our amazing workshops at the same time as our general session was probably an unintentional mistake. A lot of folks weren't able, thank you. A lot of folks weren't able or were called to be at the amazing Star Wars service perhaps instead of coming to this. So. However, I am concerned that this idea to reconsider, which I do think is a good idea, since it was only announced at the beginning of this session, during those same conflicting scheduled workshops, means people may not know this is happening again, unless they happen to choose to be here. Still, I thank you all for being flexible and responsive to reconsidering these amazing pieces of UU legislation. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I have no other speakers in the concern line. So the idea, again, as I said at the beginning, is to keep things balanced. So we're going to end this discussion because we've had a balance of pros and cons, and we will, my screen went off. I lost my language. All right. So that's going to conclude the discussion. Thank you. The several people who are still in the pro line, you can, like I said, we have to keep it balanced, so that's what we're doing. All right, so that concludes the discussion. This question will be on your ballot today. It will take a simple majority for this to pass. And to be clear, it's one motion and includes both the vote to redo the process and the use of ranked choice voting in any new voting. And you get to decide whether we're doing this again or not. So we didn't come in and say, okay, we're just going to do it over. We said, we'll let you decide. So that's what we're doing. So that will be on the ballot at the end of the session. And now, That close that. So I'm waiting for the next, there we go.
Process observation.
That's what I was waiting for. Let's welcome our process observer team.
Good afternoon. I am the Reverend Justine Sullivan. I use she, her pronouns. I am a fat white woman with graying short brown hair, wearing multicolored glasses and a bright blue shirt. I am also a member of your GA process observation team, and I'm joined here by my colleague, the Reverend Sherman Logan. We strive to put love at the center as we conduct the business of our General Assembly. Our co-moderator, Charles Dumont, opened the session today with an apology for some missteps yesterday in the process of considering the congregational study action issues, as we've been discussing the last few minutes. Charles first described what happened and the impact, and he did that without defensiveness or excuse. Folks had received incorrect information and did not have an adequate chance to speak for their CSAI. Charles also acknowledged that the current process does not sufficiently honor the work of the members of the Commission on Social Witness or of the authors of proposed study action items, and there is a commitment to address this in the upcoming bylaw revision process. More immediately, there was a call for a vote to reconsider the votes that were held last night to ensure that each proposed CSAI could receive proper attention and consideration. It's important to acknowledge mistakes and repair harm where we can. And then today we had a similar problem after hearing from the Bylaws Renewal Committee on the proposal to continue the suspension of the GA Planning Committee. It appeared that there was no one wishing to speak either for or against that proposal. However, it came to our attention later that there was someone wishing to speak in opposition, but they lost their online connection just before they were able to speak. We apologize for that unfortunate technical glitch, and we commit to doing all that we can to continue improving the online experience of General Assembly attendees. We encourage folks to continue their conversations on discuss.org, and we remind you that the ballots for this item are open through this evening. We also took some time to sing together, learning one of our new hymns, and we took time to say thank you to our staff, to our volunteer leaders, and to our co-moderators. One of the ways that we keep love at the center is to say ouch when we are hurt, sorry when we cause harm, and always and at every opportunity to say thank you. This ends our process observation report.
Closing words and extinguishing of chalice.
Hello again. I'm still the Reverend Justine Sullivan, she, her pronouns. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees, and I serve our congregation in San Diego, California. We gather in community each June in all the ways that we are now able to gather, to conduct the business of our association and to remind one another that we are more than a collection of individual congregations and communities, each with our own quirkiness and delights, though we surely are that. But in that collection, in that gathering together in all of our differences, we find our common bonds, our commitment to live into our Unitarian Universalist values, to support one another, to learn from one another, and to help heal our aching world. Let us go forth from this moment knowing that we are called to serve the greater good and that we are held in love. So may it be. Amen.
Announcements and recess.
Oh, you all have done good work. Give yourselves a hand, man. It's been a day. It's been a day. I just want to remind you that the ballot will be available until 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Mountain, 6 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. The ballot will include the business amendment about the pause of the GA Planning Committee, the motion to reconsider with ranked choice voting, and also remember that the candidate ballots will also close at that time tomorrow. So if you haven't voted, vote. Once voting is complete, we'll validate the results and then post them on the delegate platform and also announce them at the beginning of General Session 4 tomorrow. As there being no further business to come before us, and in accordance, and actually a little early, with the schedule set forth in your program books, I declare that this third general session of General Assembly 2025 shall remain in recess until 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. I will miss this gavel.